Now I got my construction light on in here because I don't have much light in here, but I think you see enough. Okay, I don't know if I've got my ladder actually set up exactly where it needs to go. I'll know that once I lift this up there, right? Okay, so I think last time I had the ladder set up kind of like I got it. I just have to be careful with it and how I've got it held. See, I've got to do it differently up here. Now I've got to do it away from me, sort of. See, it gets kind of tricky, you know. Come on. Come on. There. Ooh. Just that took the wind out of my sail. Okay? Make sure now, see, I have to turn it until I feel it go ka-clunk down where it's supposed to fit. There. Okay, it just went down, so I know it's fitting. It's supposed to wobble like that once you get it down in where it's supposed to go, okay? And I made sure on the mounting bracket, I took one of the screws out. I loosened up the other screw, because if you can imagine, when I get all done with this, I've got to raise this up, fit it over the one screw out like I was telling you, and then flip it over, and that'll tell me exactly where the hole is for the other screw, so I can put that up there. And then I should have a stubby screwdriver, and I think I have one out in the garage somewhere, but what I usually will do is then take a pair of pliers and try to tighten. You know, I just screw it with my fingers on the one screw, because the other screw's already on there, right? Because there's a bigger hole on this side, and I can fit it on there. And then put the other one in, knowing I'm only going to have to move it to the right or left a 1/16 of an inch one way or another. Okay, to line it up where the hole is. And then get my fingers in there and tighten it as much as I can. Then I take a pair of pliers and tighten up the rest. Now see, I've got the wires coming from the ceiling fan through the top of the knuckle, and I'm gonna have to have them pooched down. And this is where I can't really show you exactly what's all going on here. I'll slip the sensor in there, and I'll get up here and kind of show you that. But then, as I'm doing the wires, I'll just do the wires and then show you what that looks like when I get done with that. Okay, so there you go. I've got it exactly where it goes. It clumped down in there, so I know it's proper. See, I don't have much room there, do I? With that small extension, I wish they would have made those extensions a little bit longer. But again, I could have gotten a 12-inch one, but I did it up high on the other one. Mommy was okay with that. We had an existing ceiling fan in another room. It was up kind of high, like this one. Even though this is a 10-foot ceiling, I could have had this down lower. By code, I think it says, don't quote me on it, but I think it's 80 inches. Or it might be between 78 and 80 inches to the bottom of that. And the thing with that is, if you have it about like that, then you're down that much lower. If you got kids jumping around on the bed or something, maybe there's not much room. If you got an 8-foot ceiling, you don't really want it. You don't really want it much lower than that anyways. And lots of people do the hugger fans where you don't even have a little extension there at all. When I get done, after that canopy comes up, you'll see that the extension is 2.5 inches or so long. Okay. Some people put the hugger fans with no extension. Like if you got an 8-foot ceiling, maybe you want to go with that type instead of this. Or if it comes with a longer extension, a 6-inch extension, maybe that's too long. when I used to live in Maui, they had 8-foot ceilings on the ground floor condos, and this thing wasn't very high. It was maybe cheating 78 inches. Taller people, they could just put their hand up a little bit and hit it. I could reach the ceiling fan. And a couple of those people wanted me, they had 6-inch extensions. I ended up taking the ceiling fan down, taking the extension off, cutting off about 2 inches off of the extension until they were about as short as this, to where I could barely get it up in there, and it raised it up. It was able to raise up a couple inches, see? But like in a 10-foot ceiling like this, then you have to do your homework. You have to look on the directions outside the box. Maybe it'll give you a height from the top where your ceiling is down to your light kick, and maybe it gives you that measurement, and then you can subtract that off of what your ceiling height is to make a determination. Hey, can I go with a little bit longer extension rod or not, or do I really want to? You know, the short one seems to be fine. And the funny thing is, even on the box, let's take you over here and show you this box real quick. Let's get this light. I got my construction light over here. Look how long. Look how long the extension is here. It's way long. I mean, if anything, it's got to be 6-7 inches. It's not a little short. It's not a little short one like this first one, but that's how it came. And so, if you're unsure when you're at the store, and you know for sure that this is the actual ceiling fan you like the looks of it, you like the color of it, open it up. Tell the salesperson, hey, I want to open that up to see exactly how long the extension is. The extension rod, okay? And then if you already got the height of your ceilings, your canopy, your cathedral ceiling and stuff like that, you can, or your flat ceiling, you can take that to the store. Now you can make an intelligent decision, can't you? On do you want the next, see what they have. Maybe they got the 12-inch in stock, or you want a 16-inch. They don't have the 16, but they got the 12-inch. Okay, yeah, I'll take the 12-inch. Or you want 12 inches and they don't have that one in stock, but they got the 16, and you got a 10-foot ceiling, and you know you're still going to have plenty of room. Okay, fine, I'll take the 16. You know, stuff like that. That might give you some different options before coming home, getting ready to install it, having it up to this point, saying, man, I sure wish I would have gotten the 12-inch extension rod. Why didn't I listen to Video Joe and do that? And I could have decided when I was at the store. Now, what are you going to have to do? Take this down? I mean, it's not worst case. You've got to take it down right now. You haven't hooked it up yet, right? You take it back down, take it all apart, take the extension out, take the extension down to the store. Make sure you get the right color to match this. Don't just say, oh yeah, it's silver. Oh yeah, it's pewter. Oh yeah, it's nickel. You know, take it down with you. Make sure you take it because of the diameter. You want to make sure that's the right. You want to make sure it's got threads on one end, no threads on the other. Make sure it looks exactly like for like, you know, and then come back, put it on and put it back together. Even if you have this all hooked up and a month down the road, you're like, man, I wish I could have had the longer one. Well, guess what? You can have the longer one. You can do anything you want. You're the one who installed it. Now you can take it down. You can take it down at this point, right? You take it all apart, get exactly what you want at the store, and come back, and now you're going to have to get some little crimpers, and you're going to have to extend your wire because maybe your wire, you've already cut it. And at this point, I like to leave them long, and then I'll wrap it around up in there, but I'll probably cut them a little shorter, but they'll still be a little bit longer than I need them. But they're probably not going to be as long as if you needed to take that 3.5 inch extension and use a 12 inch up there or something, you know. Then you're going to have to do something like this. Get a little crimper set. Make sure it comes with a little coupling adapters and stuff, so you can crimp it on there right. And yes, is that possible? Yes, I helped a guy do that, and yes, I actually made a video series of that particular ceiling fan too. I don't know exactly where I have it, but anyways, in any case, anything like that is possible. Okay, so now, see, like I say, you always gotta kind of watch my entire videos, because I never know what I'm going to say. I've never told anybody on my last video, the last 2 or 3 ceiling fan installs, I've never told them to check on the height of the rods and all that kind of stuff, what I just went over with you, okay? So now, you know why you should watch my entire video series on whatever I'm showing. Okay, so I'll get back up there. I'll set this little sensor unit up there to figure out exactly, do I want it to the left or to the right? To the left here, or facing the other way? That way or that way? Which way am I going to do that? And look at the wiring schedule. And like I said, I already kind of told you where the wires are going. You got the black, red, black, blue, and white on one side. That goes to the ceiling fan. Everything coming up from the ceiling fan is going to be hooked to that. That's it for the ceiling fan. Going down to the ceiling fan, those 3 wires. These 2 wires are the power wires, okay? The white goes to white, black goes to black on the power up in the junction box up there. That's all. You don't have to worry about anything else. Well, don't I have to do something with the wires coming from the ceiling fan up there? Don't I have to hook that up to anything up there? No, nothing. The black, white, and blue wires coming up from the ceiling fan, coming up through the knuckle of the ceiling fan, that were attached to the ceiling fan. The only place you're going to hook those wires are this black, white, and blue wire right here. Okay, now does that make sense? And I'll want to make sure where that little antenna is, I want to make sure it doesn't get kinked up there. It gets kind of placed in a place where it's not going to be all messed up and bent too much and stuff, because that is what's going to be the sensor rod for your handheld remote. That's where your frequencies are going to be good. It's going to go through there. Then it's going to tell this. It's going to tell these 3 wires right here. It's going to tell them on the ceiling fan what to do. High, medium, low, off. Or which type of light. This light, you can get 3 different. You can get the dimming, or you can get a soft white, you can get a bright white, you can get kind of a bluish white. Kind of weird. It's like, how many light colors do you need up there? But it does that, and the reason why they can do that nowadays is because everything is not set up on a light bulb. It's set up on LED style goodies. You see this? Look at that. That's your light bulb. Can you believe that? That's it. So if that ever goes out, that's the other thing. If your light ever goes out, okay, you might be able to contact Fanimation through your look and see where your your direction sheet is, and maybe on this direction sheet there'll be a phone number and stuff, and maybe the model number is already attached onto this direction sheet, or the model number will be somewhere on this. You can take a picture of that. You can take a picture of that and this, so that if you ever need to contact them in the future, some kid, one of my kids was playing ball and this glass came off and broke, your trim piece. Well, you can get a new one if you just order it through Fanimation, as long as you got the phone numbers, and they'll ask you what kind it is, and they'll ask you all that stuff when you bought it. And I don't think they'll ask you for the serial number or anything, but the model number, and if you got a picture of it, you can tell them, yeah, it's a Fanimation, it's this, that, and the other thing, the airdrop, the blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff, okay? So that's the beauty and the importance of saving that, because you got the LEDs and all of the different controls for your remote control. If you lose your handheld remote, can you get a new one for that from Fanimation? Yeah, probably. And you know, you can get universal remotes at the store, but I think with the universal remote, it probably comes with a sensor too. So then so that the sensor will read the new universal remote, I think. Now, I'm not quite sure if a universal remote that you buy from a store can be programmed exactly to whatever type of sensor you have already existing for your ceiling fan. Does that make sense? I think when you buy your handheld remote universal one, I'm going to say it comes with both. And then you're going to have to get up there, take that canopy down and redo the wiring and take that whole thing out, push the other one in there, hold your mouth just right. See, the tricky part is when you're hooking up the electrical, you want to make sure that the canopy is not in the way of any wires as you push the canopy up. You don't want to see any wires protruding down, rubbing against your knuckle of your ceiling fan or anything. Because that could make a noise up there. It could start rubbing. It could start rubbing through your plastic on your wiring, and you could get a short up there later on or whatever. Or it could keep this thing from running straight down because it got caught in there, and now it wedged down in there. Okay, so you got to make sure everything stays up tight. That's why it's kind of tricky. The whole stuff is tricky up there, but you know how to hook up all the wiring. You just have to take your time and do it step by step as you get up there and do it, okay? So my next step is, like I said, I'm going to slide that up in there, decide which way to put that. I'll push that in there the way I need to have it, and then I'm going to get up there with you with my camera, just holding it, show you how I did that before I hook up the wires. Okay, so that's coming up next. Well, I can cross that one off my list. That's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos.